mouse shoulder prevention. So if you've been dealing with that pain in your shoulder from using your mouse too much, then these exercises are a great way to start your day, end your day, and any time throughout the day that you need to freshen it up to. Carmen's with me here today, and we're going to start in with some exercises. The first exercise I call is a chin tuck, and it's really helpful for your posture, which is key in the recovery of this shoulder injury. So, Carmen, if you could please do a chin tuck. You want your chin to be behind your nose, good, and level there, tall here, and you'll feel this stretch happening in the back of your neck. Yes, that's perfect. And 5-second hold is about right, and then relax and repeat, always keeping your chin so that it's level and back as far as you can. It's a little awkward movement, and there's not a whole lot of motion that you'll be feeling, but enough so that you know you're up as straight as you can. But Carmen has good posture to begin with, so you're not noticing a big jump, but it's really important that you keep your head back. Next exercise we'll do is an exercise to be getting the circulation in your shoulders warmed up. So Carmen, start with some small shoulder circles. And the focus here is to move your shoulders back as far as you can because you want to feel your shoulder blades squeezing behind you and even getting a little stretch across the front of your chest like this. After about 10 of those, when you're feeling a little bit warmed up, we're going to go into medium-sized shoulder rolls. So I'll get a little space for you. Carmen, this time move your arms up and around, keeping your hands below your shoulder height, but always in that backwards opening motion. It even kind of helps you with breathing, gets things moving. You'll feel just a little bit of circulation going on up around your neck. Mm-hmm. Move right on to bigger ones, all the way up over your head with your hands. Get things moving. Great. All right, we'll move on now to a neck stretch, and we're going to be working on stretching the muscles along the side of your neck here and here. So first thing you do want to do, Carmen, is tip your head so that your ear is getting closer to your shoulder. Come to this side, good. Take your right hand and put it behind your back. So your hand is going to be resting in the small of your back. Yep, good. And then with your left hand, come up and grab the top of your head and put a little bit of pressure over. You don't have to put a lot of pressure, just enough so that you feel a stretch happening here. Hold it 10 seconds. Good, and switch sides. So the opposite hand goes behind your back. That's just so that you don't tilt over as you're trying to do that stretch. And she should be feeling that stretch along in here.
Oh, yeah.
Make sure your face, let's turn it a little bit that way. A little bit different angle of your face is going to give you a little different stretch here. Wherever you feel like you need it the most, and always make sure that you're starting off with good straight posture to begin with. We'll move on now to a slight variation of this exercise, which is the levator traps stretch. So the levator scapular muscle runs from your ear to the top of your shoulder blade, from here to here. And to stretch it, it's almost the same as what you just did, but before you tip your head over, look as though you're looking in your pocket. So look with your eyes, perfect. And now take your left hand up in here, grab the top of your head, pull there, her hands behind her back. And as she stretches down here, the stretch will be a little bit more down towards the back of her shoulder blade. Another 10 seconds, and switch over to the other side. Gets tricky to switch sides. Remember to look down in your pocket. Yep, and then pull at that angle there. She'll feel it stretching along in this muscle here. All right, moving on to the next stretch. Carmen, grab your hands in front of your body and bend your head, pull forward. It's like she's trying to pull forward in here. And as her head tips down, she should be getting the stretch across her back or upper back through the back of her shoulders and even the back of her neck.
Oh, that feels good.
Yeah, and you'll find sometimes the angle up in here, the angle down in here. You can vary that based on where you feel like things are getting really tight. And then switch it around, clasp your hands behind your back. Squeeze your shoulder blades together first, very good. And then these can lift up and your head can go slightly back too. And now you're gonna feel like that stretch is coming more through the front of your shoulders. Kind of just opens up that posture. Take a deep breath while you're back there. Good, and rest. All right, next stretch is, we'll call it the post-cuff stretch. So the posterior aspect of your shoulder is behind your shoulder, and the cuff that kind of keeps everything in place there, that's what we're gonna stretch this time. Carmen, grab your elbow and pull your arm across your neck, and as she's doing that, that stretch is gonna be wrapping around the back of her shoulder. Many times people are pretty flexible here like this already. You might not feel a lot of a stretch, but it's still important to get your arm in that position and let those muscles open up there. 10 seconds and switch to the other arm. Same thing, you see how that arm stays straight. You're gonna get a better stretch if you keep your arm straight here. and that'll feel like it's wrapping around the back of your shoulder. Next stretch we'll move on is to the tricep stretch. Arm will go up, drop your hand over top of your shoulder like so. Use your other arm to push your elbow back. And yeah, it'll kind of, you'll bring your face through the middle like you're framing it there a little bit. Good, and you should be feeling that stretch along this muscle here. 10 seconds and switch sides. Elbow up, hand drops behind your head, little pressure here, and feeling that stretch down the front part of your arm here. Great. The doorway stretch is my favorite stretch for your shoulder, and it's good for any sort of shoulder pain that you're dealing with. We're so often tight in the front of our bodies because we're always using our hands here in front of ourselves that stretching them out throughout the day often is a very good idea. So Carmen, please show us how it's done. You want to start with your hands at about your head height and line your body up so that you're even with the door frame. Have your elbows lined up such that they're pointing down towards the ground. Good. They don't want to be out like this. That's going to be a little bit easier. You want to make sure you get your elbows here. And then pick a leg, any leg, and step through the door. You'll be feeling this stretch across the front of your chest. And you want to make sure that the orientation of your body stays pretty straight. Your hips should be back and your shoulders should be forward so that you are not hurting your back if you're leaning back, such like that. If you're feeling good at this position, hold it 20 seconds. And if you want a little bit of a different angle for your stretch, raise your hands up a little bit. And then give that stretch a try. You're going to feel it up a little bit higher across the front of your shoulders here, or bring your hands down a little bit lower. There you go. And if you're feeling that this is just all a little too challenging, then swing your hands wide and lean through the doorway again, and you'll still get that stretch across the front of your shoulders and maybe down your arm a little bit, but it won't be quite as aggressive. It's a good way to start if you're noticing some tightness. All right, to loosen everything all up at the end, I call this exercise fly jacks. I'm not sure why, like jumping jacks, but it's more like you're flying an airplane. I'll move out of your way, get your arms out straight and bring them across. You kind of crisscross them. Yep. And as you bring them back, the momentum is going to take you into a deeper stretch, which only if you're warmed up are these safe to do, but that should make things feel like they're loosening up into your chest. So before your job, after your job, if you need a little loosening up in the middle, go ahead and work on these stretches any chance you get, and I hope you're feeling better soon.